So I want to speak about a deep idea about colors. At the end of this week's parasha here in Israel, Parashat Shelach, we have the tzitzit, the mitzvah of putting the strings on our clothes with the white strings and the one string of Techelet. And I picked up a sefer a couple months ago, the Shiurei Gaon Rav Moshe Shapira. Rav Moshe Shapira was a big rabbi here in Israel. He passed away about a year or two ago here in Israel. And while he was alive, he taught a lot of shiurim, a lot of deep classes. Actually, he mixed together halacha, parasha, kabbalah, ramazim. He put it all together. And while he was alive, they didn't write that many sefarim. But now that he passed away, his students are coming out with a lot of his Torah. So here's a deep idea that I heard, that I read based on this week's parasha, that has to deal with colors. So Rav Moshe Shapira taught that the ultimate color of all the colors is lavan. It's white. For those that listened to the Shar Nun class last week, Lavan is actually Lev Nun, the heart of Nun, the heart of the 50th gate of wisdom. But that's a side topic. Maybe if I have time, I'm flying to America. I'll land there tomorrow. If I have some time, maybe I'll try to get in another Dvar Torah on the Shar Nun because it's Ba'alotcha in America still. But says Rav Moshe Shapira, the Lavan, the color white, that color symbolizes all the colors, symbolizes basically everything. Or as he writes it, the Ein Sof. We think of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as this, the Almighty, as this ultimate everything, infinity. Says the Rav Moshe Shapira that the color white symbolizes that concept. He says if you take all the colors of the rainbow and you spin them really, really fast, what happens? They turn into the color white. They become white. And if you take white light and you put it through a prism, it's going to break up and refract the light into all the different colors, into the rainbow. So white is this idea of everything. And he says white actually corresponds to Olam Haba, the world to come. And it's really the ultimate infinity that God can give us. It's all the chesed and all the kindness that God would want to give us. That's the color white. That's Olam Haba. But he says in this world, we have to have colors, and white we normally think of as a background. He says just as the physical parts of this world find themselves made up in space in Hebrew would be makom. We also know one of the names of God is makom. God is the space. God is the ultimate, because ultimately everything exists within God, because everything is part of the oneness of God. So white, in a certain respect, is the background. It's the reka, and all other colors are mamashuts, are some things that are put onto the white background. So we're not saying that white is lesser as a background. We're actually saying that white is everything, but it's too much infinity, the white, and therefore we need a little of color on that white background. And this works very nicely with the halacha that they have with the Sefer Torah, that when you write a Sefer Torah and you're writing with the black ink, you have to make sure that every letter you write is surrounded on all sides by white parchment. Because you can't have, if any two letters touch, it's no good. Because you have to have the white surrounding every letter, because the white symbolizes that infinite. The black is the something, it's the finite, it's the creation of this world, and he even goes so far to say black symbolizes the deen. Ultimately, God has to create an olam hazeh, this world, Breshit bara Elokim, and Elokim symbolizes deen, justice, and you have to have, and that's symbolized by color, by something, and that's what we spoke about in Shavuot, the black fire on the white fire, the something of this world, the black on the background of the white, the olam haba, which symbolizes everything. And black in a certain kind of way is also all the colors, because if you start taking the colors, you take the blue, you take the yellow, you take the red, you start coloring one color and the other, you get to black. So you have white on the one hand is the everything, that's light, that's the colors being mixed really quick together. At the same time, you have black, which is the physical representation of something, of mamashut, of actuality, that's the creation of this world, that's the olam hazeh, that's justice. Okay, now let's get to the Techelet. So the Techelet, so if you look at the word Techelet, it's this turquoise blue color. Look, the middle of the word Techelet has the word kol, everything. And if you look at the Ramban in this week's parasha, he also speaks about how in this color it really is representing kol, everything, in a different aspect. What does that mean? So Techelet, so the Chazal tells us, it's supposed to remind us from the ocean, ultimately of the sky. If you look at the heavens, the farthest you could possibly see in this world are the heavens. It's the blue, it's the sky, it's the Techelet. So Techelet symbolizes as far as we can see, as far as we can reach. Techelet is the Tachlit. Tachlit means the goal we're trying to get to, the essence of why we're here. So says Rav Moshe Shapiro, really, if you look past our atmosphere, our heavens, there actually is a color past Techelet. It's the black, it's the nighttime, it's the shachor, it's space. But we can't survive in space. Space is too extreme. He says the black is the ultimate justice, ultimate deen. And in heavens, you just basically have space, black, with stars, white lights, which is basically black and white. It's extreme, intense color. Our world, though, is made up of the atmosphere we can survive in. He says that's the rachamim, that's the mercy that we can exist in, and that's deen, but it's tempered down deen with compassion. And that's why there's a famous teaching that God created the world. Originally, God Hashem wanted to create the world, Bereshit bara Elokim, with strict justice, but he saw the world couldn't make it, so he brought in Yud Kei Vav Kei, he brought in the kindness, and mixed it together, Yud Kei Vav Kei and Elokim, the justice with the chesed, to make this kind of rachamim. Says Moshe Shapiro, that's the Techelet, that's the sky, that's the atmosphere we live in here on earth. And that's the blue of the tzitzit. And that's ultimately the mitzvah of the tzitzit. If you look at the tzitzit, at least according to the standard way, for those that wear Techelet, you're going to have yourselves the 4 strings, 3 white, with the 1 Techelet, with the 1 blue. So you have yourself the ultimate goal for life over here. You have the white background symbolizing the Ein Sof, the ultimate chesed, the ultimate kindness of God, the Olam Haba. Then you have the blue string, which blue is a beautiful color. Who doesn't like the color blue? The Tekhelet, it's a gorgeous color, which the rabbis teach us is Tov La'aynaim. It's a beautiful color. The Techelet symbolizes our Tachlit in life, same letters. It's the blue, it's the heavens we can look out to. It's Hashem's creation of the world, as opposed to the black and white, which is the most extreme, which is outer space. We live here in the blue and white, which is supposed to symbolize the ultimate goal we're trying to get to with Olam Haba, but our job in this world, the Olam Hazeh, which is the Techelet itself, and we look at the Tzitzit, it's supposed to remind us of all the mitzvot we're supposed to be doing. So a little bit of a deeper idea from Moshe Shapiro, alav shalom, on the colors of the Tzitzit. Shabbat Shalom.